in the chat where you're calling in from and sharing some info about your fun pets. I wish I could see them all, but perhaps another day when Zoom eventually enables you to share pictures in the chat or something like that. Thanks all for joining here. Let's jump in. For those of you who have not been to a workshop before, maybe haven't met me, hello, my name is Matt Guerin. I've been a guru for almost 7 years now, an expert in all things guru related, knowledge management, education, based out of or I'm based near our Philadelphia headquarters, but I'm in Collingswood, New Jersey, working from home mostly these days. And I like to do these fun facts in these workshops because people got into different weird things during pandemic, and the thing that I got into was just looking at the birds in my backyard. So I got real into birds, and I like sharing some fun bird facts. This is one of the most fun ones here today about woodpeckers because they peck trees at about 20 times per second, about 12,000 times per day. So that's a lot of potential brain damage because their brain is subjected to G forces of around 1,000 Gs. And for context, astronauts, when they take off in the space shuttle, only get around 3.5 Gs. So woodpeckers are getting crazy G forces subjected to their brain. And to protect their brain, they have like spongy tissue between the beak and the skull. They have a really lightweight brain. And they have an extremely long tongue that you could see over here on the left side, a diagram of that like wraps around the inside of their skull, and the tissue of the tongue actually helps to stabilize the brain and protect it from those incredibly strong G forces. So there's a little
Wow.
bit of info about woodpeckers. Hopefully, y'all like it. Let's jump into talking about Slack today. The agenda, I'll just get a quick pulse check on how you all are using Slack today and what you're interested in learning about. Then we'll jump into how you can sort of find knowledge with Slack, how you can document knowledge in Slack, then sharing knowledge in Slack, and then we'll wrap up. So I'll talk through some slides, I'll share some screens, or I'll share my screen and walk through lots of these steps here today. Try to pause for questions throughout, and then we'll hopefully have time for plenty of questions at the end. If you do have questions throughout this presentation, Esteban on my team is here to help out, and he'll be helping out in the Q&A. So if you can just put your questions for us in the Q&A section of Zoom, that would really help us just triage effectively and make sure that we address all your questions, and then keep the chat for more kind of conversational reactions, anything like that. And this workshop will be recorded and shared afterwards. This one is definitely a recording. I've made a few oopsies and mistakes in the past where I've forgotten to record, but this one's definitely recording this time. So you will get this about an hour after with a link to this deck in the email afterwards. So don't worry about that. That's taken care of. And let's launch this first poll here. So I'm curious to just know how you all here in attendance today are currently using Slack at Guru together. Maybe you're not using it at all. Maybe that's why you're here to kind of learn about what you can and can't do. Maybe you're using it for a bunch of things, or maybe only one or two things, but want to learn more. So that poll's out now. So if y'all can give me some quick responses there, just so I have a sense of where you're at today and your Slack and Guru journey. You can select multiple options there if you're doing multiple things. And so this is great. Looks like a couple people not using it yet. So this will be a great session for you. You're going to learn a lot. I think, and then there's other folks. Yeah, good mix of results here where some people are using, some features, others are using everything, and then some are not using any. So this is great. Nice audience here of mixed experience. This is great. So we'll close this one out for now. Thanks all for completing that. And then let's launch this poll here around what are you most interested in learning about today. So if there's a particular area, or if you just want to learn about all the things that Slack and Guru can do together, but if there's a particular area, let me know that of any one of those areas that's of most interest for you. Maybe it's capturing information shared in Slack. Maybe it's finding knowledge that's in Slack, connecting Slack as a source to Guru, sharing information from Guru to Slack. It's great. Cool. Looks like most people interested in all of the above and capturing information in Slack. So that's great. That's one of the main, I think, benefits of connecting Slack and Guru together is being able to capture information for sure. Um, and let me see here, just checking in the chat. I lost my window here. Okay. And setting preferred verifier settings per channel, hopefully. Um, Alyssa, I might need some clarity on that. In terms of Alyssa's asking about preferred verifier settings per channel, hopefully. Tell me a little bit more about what you mean, and Esteban and I will try to do our best to help you out, and maybe we'll get answers along the way through this presentation. And then we've got Alyssa and Gianna, definitely eager in its ability to learn from team conversations. Awesome. Yes, perfect. Cool. Alrighty, so let's get to it. All right, first of all, the value of connecting to Slack with Guru. So the three kind of problems that Guru solves for, the three problems that exist in sort of, or the three needs maybe is a better way of putting it, that exist in any sort of organization is being able to find the information that you need to do your job. That's what most people need to be able to do at an organization. Then your experts, your managers, your pros need to be able to document good information easily that others can find. And then oftentimes leadership or directors or other folks that are in charge of sort of disseminating information need a way to share information effectively. And so Guru tries to solve for all three of these challenges that every organization faces. And that's one of the great things about connecting Slack and Guru together is that so much work happens in Slack and you can do elements of each one of these problems here. So we'll get into all the ways that using Slack and Guru together can help you address these different challenges, each of these challenges that you might face in your organization. Because Slack is where you work. If you're here, probably a big Slack team, so you're using Slack day in and day out for your team communications, and having Guru connected to Slack allows you to save some time by virtue of not having to context switch as much. You can, search, ask, capture, and even manage a lot of stuff in Guru from Slack directly. Knowledge is shared in Slack constantly, and often that information is sort of lost or buried in ongoing channels and long threads. It can be really hard to search for using Slack search and Guru's ability to search across your channel histories. It brings an improved performance to that search experience where you can more effectively find those conversations that you need to find using Guru search. You can effectively capture those good conversations really quickly. You can understand trends of shared information, trends and conversations that are going on in your different channels, so that you can better close knowledge gaps and enhance your sort of knowledge strategies. And you can share the information that matters by cross-posting announcements, sharing card links, answering questions with cards, so that you're elevating the knowledge that really matters, bringing awareness to that good knowledge that you want people to keep reusing and see. And then lastly, a superior notification experience compared to email. Setting your notifications up in Slack, where you are spending most of your days probably, is going to be a better sort of notification, a better real-time sort of experience as compared to email, where a lot of those notifications probably get buried in those inboxes that don't stop growing. So there's a couple reasons why you should connect Guru to Slack, and to quickly touch on how you connect Guru to Slack. You're going to go to your manage settings, and I'll just show this here. You're going to come to your manage tab. And if you're an admin, you'll see this apps and integrations option here. And then you need to have admin access in Guru to be able to connect to a different application. But you should see a button on this page. Mine's already connected, but you should see a button that will allow you to connect to Slack. And then you can just follow the prompts and pop-up windows that'll walk you through that process. And this is where you can see your Slack settings and manage or remove the Slack integration to your Guru. So that's how you need to like set it up first and foremost at a high level to just make sure your Guru and Slack are connected and talking to each other. And that's like the first step that needs to be done. And then we'll get into all the little sort of cool nuanced things that you can do with Slack as a source and searching across Slack and all those things throughout this presentation. But that's the first step that you need to have in place. So if you haven't connected your Guru to Slack yet, go ahead and do that now if you have admin permissions. If you need to request it, go ahead and request that connection to your Guru admins. All right. So first things first, we'll talk about ways that you can find the knowledge you need to do your job in Slack. So the easiest way to do this, initially the sort of oldest kind of way, the most long-standing way to search Guru from Slack is to use a /guru command. Lots of applications have slash commands in Slack, so Guru is no different in that respect. And I'll just show this really quickly and then I'll talk through the benefits. So if I want to, let's say I'm in a channel in Slack and I just want to quickly search Guru and maybe I need to find some information about our API, I'll just do /guru and then the keyword search terms that I want to put here. This won't bring up a suggested answer. This won't bring up an AI generated suggested answer to a question or anything like that. This is more for keyword searches. So use the / command for just regular kind of traditional searches. And then we'll talk about ways that you can ask questions on demand in a sec. So I'll use that / command, I'll hit enter, and then I can see what I'm searching for. I can see the results listed here. And so I can, open the cards within Slack. I don't have to transfer to Guru. I can see cards in here, even if there's pictures and some multimedia will display in this view as well. If I need to, I can, click on this title here to open it up in the web app. But I can see if this is the card that has the information that I'm looking for, get that information here. If I'm looking to share this this card directly, I can click to this post to the channel option and then I'll post it to the channel. If I need to edit my search terms here, once I've done it, maybe I didn't get the results I was hoping for and I want to add some filters, I can add in some collection filters here to sort of narrow down the result or some tag filters here to narrow down my results that way by tag. But I'll click this post to the channel button just so you all can see what that looks like. It gives me a little confirmation there that it's been posted to the channel. And then when I exit out, I can see what that card's title is and who posted it there. So that's ways that you can sort of find information. And jumping ahead a little bit, it's also a way that you can quickly share a card from Guru. That / command won't bring up external sources to Guru. It's only going to bring up content that's inside of Guru, so inside of your different collections inside of Guru. So keep that in mind. Use that for basic keyword searches and for information that lives in Guru to quickly find information there or post cards to a channel. And so the Guru bot does not need to be invited to the channel to use this command. So you can use a command anywhere in any channel. The bot doesn't need to be invited to that channel specifically. So it's got that channel independence there. The privacy of results is nice. So this is like a private search. You can see until I posted it to the channel, it was just all information that was for me. So if you're just looking to discover information for yourself, this is a good sort of command to use. And as I said, this command will allow you to search through all cards that you have access to, including even private cards, but it's not going to give you results for information externally. Okay, cool. I saw the chat lighting up and then the Q&A lighting up. Esteban, any questions we should address right now?
Like on the chat, like Shannon just was asking about, we will get a presentation after we're done with the meeting. And I was like telling you, sure, the recording and presentation will come their way. And let's see what we have on the chat. Like Kira is asking, as a user, will the filter results only show collections I have access to?
Yes. So Kira, it's only going to show anytime you do a search in Guru, no matter where you are, it's going to respect your user permission. So you're never going to be able to search Guru and get results from information that you don't have access to, that you've not given permission to. So yes, this /guru command will search across all the information inside of Guru that you have access to, including your private cards. In this example, if the search based on the title of the card, I'm trying to understand the importance of how I title my card, API versus what is our API. Okay, so this is a question just around sort of how the search works and sort of what it prioritizes. Shannon, to keep it simple, title is one of the most important factors when it comes to good search results. So your title should always contain a level of specificity about what the card is about, so that it's easy to identify from the title. You should be able to look at the title and kind of know what's going to be within the card, and that is because a lot of good keywords will probably be in the title if you approach it that way. And title is one of the biggest things that sort of factors into the search results there. So yes, I would say to your point, it's strictly based on title. It's going to produce results that have that keyword that's maybe in the card content as well. But title is certainly a high priority there. And then Rohit asked, will there ever be a time where the Guru's AI Slack bot can return images in its response? Okay, so that's probably around the suggested answer feature, and return images there. I'm sure there will be a time. I don't know at this point if that's in the near term product roadmap. Come to our product roadmap session next month. I'll plug that again at the end with our CEO, Rick. But I don't know if that's in the near future, but with everything in the AI world developing very, very quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a capability that we have soon enough. Will these searches be available in the AI Agent Center? So if you are asking a question or in other ways within Slack, yes, it will end up in the AI Agent Center. If you're just searching using this slash command that we're talking about right now, no, that's not. This is just a keyword search. Keyword searches don't end up in the AI Agent Center. Only questions that produce suggested answers are what winds up in the AI Agent Center. But I believe, will see these search terms in the analytics fields with like searches producing results. So if you check your analytics, you should see that people, the search that I just did was API. That should be available in the analytics under like search producing results there. All right. Moving ahead to what some people are already kind of curious about, and that is the sort of suggested answer experience within Guru. This is one of the ways that you can engage in that suggested answer experience, which is this kind of on-demand way. So if you have a question and you sort of want to ask Guru first, you can use the @Guru mention in Slack. Now this, in contrast to the /guru command, this does require the bot to be in the channel. So if you're trying to @guru and you type a question and you don't get a suggested answer at all, you just get no response, that means the Guru bot has not been invited to the channel. So you're going to make sure that that bot is invited to the channel and then re-ask your question. For the best results, at right now, the @guru command only works for questions. So don't type in keywords using this method. You're not going to get the results that you want that way. For the best results, type in a question. So what that can look like is I'll come to a channel. Now I can see that the Guru bot was added to this channel today by me. So I know that I'm going to get a suggested answer when I do the @Guru command. And maybe I ask, what is our PTO policies? Just something simple like that. And you can see that as soon as I do that, it's going to queue the suggested answer experience below. This is how I can sort of engage with Guru directly. Now you can see that my search is going to be visible to everyone, right? This isn't like the / command where it's kind of like just for me. This is a way that you might engage with Guru, maybe in a DM to Guru directly, maybe in a DM with yourself, or maybe in some of your question channels where you just want to signal to other people in the channel that you are asking Guru first, and then people can sort of chime in and help out if maybe Guru doesn't get the answer right here. But then in the thread, I can see the answer to that question. If the question is long, I can click to see more. I can see the cards here, the primary cards that were used to answer that question. As of today, Guru will use up to 10 cards to produce a suggested answer here. I can give it that feedback of thumbs up, thumbs down. if the answer is sort of right or incorrect. And then if I want to, I can search Guru additionally. So I can click this search Guru button here, which will kind of bring up that slash Guru, or yeah, that slash Guru kind of experience where instead of framing it as a question and giving that suggested answer, it's now going to transfer over to that sort of more traditional search within Guru, where it's going to take the content of your question and do a keyword search with Guru. So then I can find maybe additional cards here that might better help me if the suggested answer that was produced wasn't very helpful for me. So that's sort of way that you can maybe uncover some more information, dig a little bit deeper, double check those resources. Of course, you can click into any of these cards and it'll take you to those cards or external sources. So when you use the at Guru mention, it's going to look at all the information that you have access to, whether it lives in Guru or whether it's a connected external source to Guru. So that's another benefit over the maybe slash Guru command there. And then you can also use this Ask an Expert feature here. I would maybe steer away from this honestly right now, as this will assign an expert in the task section of your questions, and you may want to instead utilize the AI Agent Center to assign people to the right questions using the expert function there. So changes might be coming to this eventually, but as of right now, I would just say stick to using the AI Agent Center to assign questions to the proper experts there. So just a quick call out there. And then, yes, the last thing here to note is that the access limitations on the suggested answer will only use content that is shared with all members. So this is an important call out when using the @guru command because you may be using it in a channel with other people from maybe outside of the organization. Maybe you're sharing a channel with, BPOs or contractors or something like that, and you don't want to necessarily expose sensitive information that you might have access to in Guru otherwise. This is only going to use content, cards, and external sources that have been shared with the all members group inside of Guru to produce this suggested answer. That way, we're not exposing information that might be too sensitive in channels where there's maybe people that shouldn't be able to see that information there. So that's sort of built-in restriction there to help you all sort of avoid those kind of those nasty sort of security or privacy permission issues that might come up. So just keep that in mind if you're using the @guru command in a channel and maybe you're not seeing all the expected answer that you might want to see. That might be a factor in the expected results. There is that it might only be using content that's shared with all members, and maybe the right answer lives within a card that's maybe has more restricted access, and it maybe lives in a collection that hasn't been shared with the all members group there. So keep that in mind when you're using the @guru command directly. All right, before I jump ahead, I saw chat lighting up, so I'll just check on the chat. Anything come through the Q&A, Esteban?
Couple of questions like Chan is asking, can we do add Guru in a thread versus a direct message?
Versus a direct message. Okay, so question is, can you do @guru in a thread? And I think that you can do this now. I'm just gonna ask the same question again here because I am not creative right now. Yes. Okay. So just tested that live here with a really bad misspelling of policy, but it'll work. It'll produce a question there. So yes, you can use it in threads, not just channels. Had to double check myself there because that used to not be the case, and I
Right,
was pretty sure
right.
that it changed recently. Yeah.
And Marina is like just asking, if you're using Ad Guru in a public channel, what permissions is it using if pulling a response from a collection?
Yeah, so that relates to this access limitation thing, if I'm understanding
Mhm.
it correctly, where it's only going to use content that's available to all members there. So,
Right.
yeah, rest assured that, if you use that command and you're using it in a channel, don't worry about sort of privacy or security kind of issues there because it's sort of restricted by default. Um, All right, so a way that you can sort of get answers that are maybe not shared just with all members groups is by connecting a knowledge agent. And I've got a little star next to this one because this has been a sort of runaway hit with a lot of customers, sort of kind of blockbuster feature. It's been really beneficial to driving adoption of Guru and more importantly, reducing those kind of repeat questions and getting people answers to their questions more quickly without experts having to be looped in, because it really requires no sort of change management strategy. You can connect a knowledge agent to a Slack channel that already exists, and what a knowledge agent can do is it can be narrowed down to specific sources. So let's say you have and I'll shift over to the demo here. Let's say I have a benefits information channel here, and I've hooked up a knowledge agent that is specifically looking at information around benefits and is designed to answer questions around benefits in a specific sort of way. And so because that knowledge agent is already hooked up to this channel, I don't have to act guru. I don't have to do any sort of command if I'm an end user. I don't have to change my behaviors at all. If I just have a question around benefits or whatever it may be, I can come into that Slack channel and I can just ask, something like, how do I request time off, right? And I'm just asking the question. I don't even need to actually put a question mark in anymore. We have question detection now, so we'll pick up if it's framed as a question. And if there's a knowledge agent hooked up to that channel, as you can see, it's automatically going to detect that question and thread a suggested response in the same exact way as the @guru command. But this time, it's going to use the sources that are hooked up to the knowledge agent and will not necessarily only share information that has been restricted to all members. You can put that restriction on it if you like. I'll show that in a sec. But otherwise, you can have your knowledge agent fully tailored to the channel's purpose and be able to save your experts a lot of time, save your question askers a lot of time from having to wait around responses by hooking this knowledge agent up to the channel. And to do that, you come into your manage page here. And if you're an admin, you can come to the knowledge agents section here. And I'm going to scroll down to the uh, what did I do? The benefits buddy here, which is the agent that I was just engaging with in the benefits information channel. And I can see in the Slack channel here is where I can go to set up this given agent to specific Slack channels. So you can only have one agent per Slack channel. So only one agent can be in a channel and respond to questions there. As I can see, the information that I'm already hooked up to is unavailable, but I could hook up an agent to multiple different channels if I wanted to. So if I wanted to bring this into a different channel like Ask People Ops, I could do that as well. And if I wanted to put that restriction on it, like the @guru command has, where it's only going to limit responses to content shared with all members, I can toggle this on. In fact, this is often a big point of friction or confusion. A lot of times, a lot of people will create an agent, hook it up to Slack, not realize this toggle is maybe on, and so they're not seeing the expected answers that they want to see in Slack. So if you're having that experience now and you're not getting the answers that you wanted to see with your knowledge agent in Slack, check to see if you have this toggle on. And if you don't have security or permission concerns around information from Guru or external sources that are connected to Guru being shared in that Slack channel, you can safely disable this and get those better quality answers, as it's going to look at all the information that's connected to the agent, regardless of whether or not these sources of information have been shared with the all members group or not. All right, so this was just jumping back here. This is a lot of benefits to this. And as you can see here, and you can actually see Evan from Favor talk about this in our knowledge agent showcase that we had back in March, I think. Clips of that are available on our YouTube page. But if you want to see how beneficial the knowledge agent experience has been for them when it's hooked up to Slack. You can go check that out. But as you can see, this is a really big game changer for the Favor team. And they had to do a little bit of training, but once they did, they really saw so much potential unlocked from it, and really saw some great outcomes, and built a lot of trust with Guru that way. Alrighty, so great. I think we had some stuff come into the chat. Looks like that's been maybe addressed. Anything? Okay, don't see anything in the Q&A. Okay, Gianna just asked, what are sources that can be connected to a knowledge agent? Good question, Gianna. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Okay, so any source can be hooked up to a knowledge agent. So we have over 60 some odd sources now. So you can go to your sources page. Any of these sources you can hook up and connect to Guru in various different ways. Some of them you can, like Slack and Drive, you can inherit permissions. So whatever a user has access to in Drive or Slack, you can just sort of inherit those permissions. So you don't have to maintain permissions separately in Guru. Other sources, you can sort of manage permissions more granularly and restrict certain folders or certain documents to certain specific Guru groups. So lots of flexibility there in terms of what you hook up to Guru and who you make that content available to. And then any of these sources that you do end up connecting could be hooked up to a specific knowledge agent. When you build a knowledge agent and when you connect sources to them, you can see that any of the sources that I have connected already, I can connect to this knowledge agent. What you just want to make sure of, though, is that just because you hook up a source to a knowledge agent doesn't mean that everybody that has access to that knowledge agent has access to those sources. So you want to think of sources and agents as kind of two different objects within Guru that have their own permission sets. So when you create a source, you're going to give access to specific people, specific groups within Guru, and then those people will have access to the information in that source. If you just hook up a knowledge agent, but and put in sources there, but don't give the people that have access to that agent access to those sources, they're not going to see the results that you want them to see because they don't have access to that information directly. So can be a little confusing. I know, just kind of going through it quickly because we got a lot more to get to here with this Slack focused workshop here. But we have more workshops on knowledge agents and sources, so you can check out those histories there. Lastly, with finding knowledge in Slack, this is well timed because you can hook up Slack channels as a source for your knowledge agents. So not only can you get answers in your Slack channels, but you can also derive answers from your Slack channels. So you can hook up Slack as a source in that page where I was just on under manage and sources. And then you can choose specific channels to hook up to as sources. And then all the information that's been shared in those channels, it will be made searchable through Guru. And you can filter for those search results here. So when you search in Guru in the web app, or in the extension, you'll be able to filter down by specific sources, and you can click the Slack source if you want to see results just from different Slack conversations. But this is really, really great. As you can see, it was Golden Barlow from Entrada talked about this last week in our Guru for IT workshop, but this was really huge for them, being able to search across an entire channel history where there's been lots of good information shared over the years, but that's just gotten buried in conversations. Being able to search that easily from a really well-powered search engine like Guru has was a really game changer in terms of for Entrada, for lots of companies, for being able to close knowledge gaps more effectively. So a lot of times information gets shared and it never gets documented, right? But this allows you to search across that information that was maybe not formally documented, dig that up again, and then hopefully, if that is the good information that's shared in that channel, presents you an opportunity to not only find and use that information, but another opportunity to quickly document that information that's living in Slack. And so last things here, Slack channels are indexed in near real time. So if somebody just, shared some good information a minute or two ago, that should automatically be indexed in Guru Search. So the results there should be pretty immediate in terms of your search results there. And so being able to capture that information that's shared and being able to find that information in Slack easily is really critical to kind of closing those knowledge gaps. And then the next step that you can do to really close up those knowledge gaps and really have a seamless sort of experience with connecting Guru and Slack together is documenting that good knowledge that you find in Slack. And so there's some easy ways to document information that's shared in Slack conversations. One of the easiest ways to do is to use the create a card command from a Slack conversation. So the GuruBot must be invited to the Slack channel in order for you to do this. You can create a card from an entire thread or a specific message. You can utilize the assist option, the AI assist option in this create a card function, which I'll show here in a sec. To automatically format the content of a thread or of a message into maybe an FAQ style or to summarize it, so that it can kind of speed up the time to getting that valuable information formally documented in a Guru card. And you can publish it right from Slack, so you never have to go back to the web app, or you can save it as a draft for later. So let's take a look at how to do that really quick. So if I'm in a Slack channel where the Guru bot's been invited, so I know it's been invited here, and I say maybe this is our new PTO policy, and maybe that information gets shared in Slack, and I'm like, great, this is awesome information. I want to get this documented into a Guru card ASAP. I can hover over this more actions button. And then if you've used this function recently, you should see the create a card and add to existing card options right here. If you haven't used these commands before, you might have to go into more message shortcuts, which I didn't expect it to take me here, but it should open up a separate little window for you where you can find those commands, as long as, again, the GuruBot has been invited to that channel. So you can create a card right from here. So we'll go into this create a card function. You can see it's automatically going to take the content of the post or the whole thread, and it's going to populate that content automatically in the card content here. And then if this were an entire thread, there'll be a toggle, a drop down toggle here that will allow you to select, just this message or the entire thread. And so from here, you can just give it a card title rather. And then if I want to, I can use AI to format this in different ways. This is a pretty short post here, so I'm not going to do any reformatting here. But you want to convert it into a Q&A kind of format, do that, or summarize the information there. And then if I choose the save draft option, that's going to be pretty much the end of the road here. And I can just see it in my drafts within Guru, or I can go through the publishing flow here. So I'll click publish card now. It's going to take me back to the channel. As you can see, these steps are only going to be visible to me. Then I'm just going to go through the publishing workflow. So it's kind of the same as it is in the web app, but just a little bit different sort of format here. So I'll put what collection I want this card to live in, who I want to be the verifier, where I want the folder to live, or where I want the card to live, any tags that I want to add, and then click save. And then as long as I had permission to that collection, and authoring permission to that collection, that card is then published. And you can see there that once I do that, Guru will thread a response letting other users know that, like, hey, we've already captured this information and we've added it to this existing card, or we've created a new card out of it. And so just to show you all, if I chose to add this to an existing card, it's a very similar kind of flow, and it looks initially pretty familiar to the /guru sort of experience, where it's going to take the content of your post, search, so you can find the card that you want to add it to, and then I can click add to this card, and then it's the same sort of kind of flow where I can select what content I want to add, and if I want to save it as a draft, publish it later, reformat it with assist. Very similar kind of exact flow as we were just seeing there. All right, I saw the chat blowing up a lot. Saw some questions coming in through the Q&A. Esteban, anything we want to touch on as of now?
On the chat, quite the movement, but they were just asking information about like the knowledge agents. So I was able to provide some articles on the custom prompts and also like templates. And Shannon was talking about a little bit of Google Sheets about when you can balance creating an update or a card. So it's you can also connect it as a source. That way it's just one place to make it the update. And Samuel was, asking, does the Guru, I think we covered this, like just to go over it again, does the Guru agent in the Slack only respond if someone questions ends, with the integration sign? But oh, yeah, we'll just interpret it. I was like, I don't know, yeah, it's good enough. Like, if you made a question, he will say, if it is like made in the right way, he will go ahead and
Hmm.
just answer it. And on the Q&A, we just have one question from Rohit saying, can you select what collection this card gets added to? I think we just
Um,
you just covered that, right?
yeah, I think I just touched on that, right? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Rohit got that. Sweet.
that's about it.
Um, all right, perfect. Great. And then Shannon, I just want to address your question around the Google Sheet, Google Doc sort of area. I think that's probably a question that's going to be best addressed if you reach out to our tech support team. Probably Esteban might even be the one to sort of help you out there. But we might need to go a little bit deeper on that specific experience than we're able to go
Yes.
into right now. So. Um, yeah, check out our right into our tech support team and we'll help you out there. And you can also book time with us, book 15-minute call with us, might even talk to Esteban or myself. So
Yep.
you can take advantage of that. All right. And then those are really good ways so you can document knowledge quickly that's shared in Slack channels or Slack threads. If you want to maintain sort of knowledge with Slack, like I mentioned up top, the notifications will keep you in the loop with sort of real-time updates around comments, new answers to questions that have been, produced in the AI Agent Center, previously known as the AI Training Center. It'll let you know about cards that you need to verify, announcements that have been sent to you, updates to cards that you follow, updates around new cards that are published to authors that you follow, and more. So, setting your notifications up in Slack is really the way to go. To do that, just really quickly, in your Guru app, when you have Guru connected to your Slack, you can come down here to your notifications and choose your manage notification setting where you can set up the sort of how often you want to receive them and manage those settings there. So set that up if you haven't already, and then other ways to sort of keep in the know and stay on top of your knowledge is to use things like Zapier automation. So really popular Zapier automation is to leverage. The trigger that we have, which is when a collection verification score drops below a certain threshold, you can sort of set that threshold. We usually recommend 80%. It can automatically sort of post to that channel, like so might post to your team channel for your team's collection to let you know that like, hey, our trust score is not as good as we want it to be. Here's how many unverified cards there are. This is a good way to sort of just keep your team automatically informed around how your knowledge health is. And so they may be ignoring those verification notifications that they might be getting, but if they see something like this coming in through a sort of team channel, then they may be more likely to be like, oh, okay, I need to help out my team and verify some of those cards I'm responsible for because, oh no, our CX collection is only at 67%. So that's a really good a quick hack to use with Zapier. And then another, I think, a really cool feature that has that's maybe a little bit underutilized by folks is this trending topics feature. And so trending topics allows you to sort of track popular trends of conversation in your different channels. So as an individual, you can set up trending topics for 5 different channels. And you can see here in the screenshot what that can look like. So it'll show you in a channel what are the most popular topics of conversation. So it's going to be looking for like keywords and phrases. So we see here in this product questions channel, collection owner, expected behavior, synced collections. These were really popular for this week span of time. And I can click into each of these sort of keyword topics and view those actual messages. I can share them with a teammate to sort of collaborate on closing those knowledge gaps. So like, hey, are you also maybe seeing the same sort of trends in your channel? Maybe we need to collaborate on creating some information to close knowledge gaps around those specific topics because clearly people are talking about this or asking questions around this topic, and maybe our documentation around that area isn't as robust as it should be. If you know know some like keywords that are going to show up a lot in these sort of channels, you can add exclusionary keywords so that those won't surface as trending topics for you, and sort of limit that sort of redundant kind of keywords that might surface in your results there. And so this is a really cool feature that I think it can be really helpful for a lot of managers and subject matter experts to just sort of stay current. It can be really hard, as we all know, to stay up to date on all the different goings on in a Slack channel. And so this sort of offers you a sort of kind of like end of week or beginning of week digest, depending on when you set up your settings, when you want to get notified about these trending topics. But it sort of gives you that digest that lets you sort of take in what the team cares about, and where you might have some knowledge gaps or some education gaps that need to be closed. Maybe you do already have information around this, and maybe people aren't finding it, and so maybe you need to educate them on how or where to find it, or make your content more findable there. But any of those, whatever those results may be, having trending topics set up for those channels that you're responsible for can be really helpful. And so again, go to your Guru app, and on the homepage in your Guru app, come to trending topics, and you can click subscribe to trending topics here. Choose the channels. The Slack bot needs to be invited to the channel, so I'm only going to see channels that I have the Slack bot invited to here to select from. And then you can put in your keywords and then set up how often you want to receive that digest and when you want to receive it. So check that out. I think for those of you that maybe feel like you don't know if your content is maybe meeting your team's needs, check out the digest option, and that can maybe help give you a better grip on how well your content is enabling your team and where you might have gaps. All right, cool. So I'm gonna get through this, and then we'll open it up for questions here. So in terms of sharing knowledge in Slack, there's of course lots of different ways you can do this. Easiest way of which is to just share a card link in Slack directly. But if you want to be a little bit more targeted and respond to maybe questions that are asked in a Slack channel, and maybe you don't have a knowledge agent hooked up to that Slack channel for whatever reason, you can use the answer with a card function in that in Slack. So if somebody asks a question in a Slack channel, you click on that more actions button, and then you can answer with a card. So if I come to maybe a channel where I think I don't have Guru invited, oh, maybe that one already does. Okay. What is our NPS score or something like that? I can ask a question here, and I don't have Guru hooked up. I didn't do an at Guru command. I can come to more actions here, and I can answer with an existing card. And again, you'll see a very similar flow. It's going to take the content of your question automatically, and automatically search Guru, and so I can see if there's a card here that's maybe going to answer that question, and then I can click, let's say this card does answer that question, I can click that answer with a card option there, and it will respond in the channel. If the GuruBot is not invited, it will respond in a thread if the GuruBot is invited to the channel. So again, all more reasons to connect your GuruBot, invite your GuruBot to the channels that you all use a lot. That's going to just enhance your capabilities in terms of using Guru within Slack, and it's also going to give a little bit better of a process if the or a little bit better of a user experience, rather, if the bot is invited to the channel, because this will show up not in the channel, but it will show up as a thread like we've seen before. Cool. So that's how you can do that in terms of answering questions with a card. In terms of other ways to share knowledge in Slack more broadly, you can set up card activity feeds. Again, you can do this from the homepage where we saw the trending topics and where I set up my notifications. You can also set up card activity feeds. And an activity feed is nice because it can just give the team more awareness around what new content is being created in a specific folder or in a specific collection. And so it can be really helpful if you're maybe building out, if you have a new project, or you're migrating from another tool, or a new team is joining Guru, and you want to keep track and make sure that people are creating good content in sort of Guru, you can set up an activity feed for that new folder or that new collection that's coming in. Maybe you have, and we use this internally a lot. We have an FAQ collection, and we have an FAQ card activity channel in Slack where we have an activity feed from Guru hooked up to that so that we can see all the new FAQ information that's coming in, which can be really helpful if you start getting a lot of questions, or you're like maybe on the support team and or on customer facing teams, and you start getting questions from customers around a specific topic, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen this before. Let me check in the card activity feed, and oh, great, Kian just made a new card around that exact topic there, and so that can be kind of a way to get information that you might not be privy to immediately. Um, and if you have large author participation, it's also a good reason to set up an activity feed. Just because if a lot of people are going to be contributing to a sort of collection, you want to sort of maybe keep eyes on it and make sure that people are doing it in the right kind of ways, creating the cards according to your content standards and that kind of thing. So generally recommend setting up a separate channel for activity feeds, but you can hook them up to existing channels. So you could hook them up to your existing team channels, and you'll get these sort of new card notifications in mixed in with your regular team communications. But that just may not be the best experience if you're producing a lot of content. That could maybe sort of, add too much noise to that team channel. But if you're not producing that much content, that it could be good to set it up in an existing team channel where every once in a while people will just get more visibility because that's a channel that they go to and they can see that a new card's been created every now and then. And then, as we saw before, another way to share information is to just use the slash guru command to search and find a card that you need and then post that card to the channel via the slash guru command. And then lastly, one of the best ways to share knowledge in Slack is to get really creative with your specific needs and the specific challenges that you're looking to solve for, and maybe create some Zapier workflows. So an example of a Zapier workflow to share knowledge in Slack might be to automatically post cards created by a specific author, or post cards into a channel that maybe have a specific tag. So you can sort of kind of create your own sort of custom activity feeds that have maybe a little bit more specific criteria that needs to be met before that card is posted. And then you can see here some sort of really simple, kind of out of the box, some of the more popular automations that people have set up between Guru and Slack using Zapier, which is a tool. For those that don't know, it's an iPaaS tool that allows you to connect and build automations between tools with zero kind of coding experience required. So even someone like me who doesn't know any sort of coding for the most part can use a tool like Zapier. And so the most popular one that we have is like inviting new users added to a group in Guru, automatically add them to a Slack channel. So that's really popular for like people who are adding people to Guru, rolling out Guru. You can automatically get them into the Slack channels that matter as well. And as you can see, lots of other automations like automatically posting announcements into specific channels to add additional visibility to those announcements and make sure that people are seeing those announcements that you want them to see, and cross posting into multiple channels will just help encourage adoption, especially if you're trying to get people to go to announcements more and read announcements more. That might be a automation that's going to be helpful for you in terms of sharing good knowledge in Slack. So check out Zapier if you want to dig into automations more, book time with our team, hook right into our tech support team. We're always happy to help you out with creating zaps, as they call them, that are going to be useful for you. So there's just some ideas, initial ideas there to get the wheels spinning. And man, I always think I'm gonna have like so much time. I only had 22 slides on this presentation. I was like, I'm gonna have 20 minutes for questions. And here we are. I've got 4 minutes left for questions, but we've had good questions throughout. I really appreciate the participation today from everyone. Esteban, looks like you've addressed a lot of the questions in the chat. I see one that just came in from Jenny. Can you put slash guru in threads as well to answer questions if a bot is not in the channel? Yeah, you can. I believe you can slash guru in a thread. Let's test that out. Let's test myself out really quick. Uh, nope. Okay. Never mind. And I think that's actually maybe a Slack limitation if I'm remembering correctly, with certain slash commands. Maybe not. I don't want to throw Slack under the bus unnecessarily. But yes, it looks like that's not supported in threads. So only in channels. If you want to sort of respond though to a question that's been asked in a thread, or respond in a thread to a question that was asked in a channel, you're probably going to want to use that answer with a card functionality. Otherwise, that slash guru function is just going to be beneficial for you in your different channels, to just find the information that sort of you need or that you want to share in the channel with other folks there. But good question, Jenny. Thanks for calling that out. Esteban, anything I missed here that we any questions from folks?
No, we're pretty much covered. We're good.
All right. Great. All right, folks. Well, if you have any questions, anything comes to mind, pop them in the chat. You can also, write into our tech support team and follow up with additional questions. As you ruminate on any additional questions you may have, I'm going to send out this quick poll. Let me know how useful this sort of session was for you, how likely you are to recommend this workshop or workshops like this to your peers in the future. It's helpful feedback for us to make sure that these workshops are relevant and useful to you all. So appreciate you all taking a quick second there to cast your vote. And then before you go, I just have two quick polls for you, and then some information around what's coming next. So thank you all for sharing that NPS sort of function. Let me know your biggest takeaway from this session. Anything that stood out to you, anything new that you learned. Maybe you didn't learn anything new, but maybe you learned about how woodpeckers' brains experience 1,000 Gs. And so maybe that's your key takeaway, in which case I'm happy with that. But no, hopefully you got something meaningful out of this in regards to Slack and Guru's relationship. I appreciate you all taking a quick second here to let me know what your key takeaway was. It's really helpful information for me. It's the most tangible information as I get in these workshops, where I'm mostly speaking to black boxes and people that are quiet and on mute. I feel like I'm often just talking to myself or Esteban on these. And so these key takeaway responses are really useful for me to understand what you all actually got of this. So appreciate you all taking a sec there. And I'll launch. Yeah, we can launch this one now too. Oops. Yeah, and next thing I'm curious about is what you're curious about. So tell me if anything comes to mind. If not, it's totally fine. You can also write into to us later after this. But if you're itching for a workshop about something in particular, let me know. Open to ideas. I want to hear what you all want to hear about. If there's a specific use case, maybe you want to see how a specific industry is using Guru, or how specific teams are using Guru, or maybe you have a desire to learn about specific capabilities or feature sets within Guru, whatever it may be. I really want to hear from you. And so appreciate you all giving me some ideas around what will be valuable for you. And maybe in the near future, you'll see a workshop on that topic there. So still got some information, responses coming in. So I'll leave that up as I talk about what's coming next and ways that you can sort of keep the conversation going. Check out our Guru community. You can keep the conversation going in there, hook up with different champions and other Guru users at different Guru customers. And then, share product feedback with our team directly there. If you have a story that you want to share with regards to how your team has used Guru in really cool, innovative ways or successful ways, there's a link to the survey in this deck. This deck, again, will be shared out in the email afterwards. If I can, I will grab the links, at least here. Of course, when I want the links, it's not working for me. There we go. I'll pop a link to this. Thank you, Esteban, grabbing that. There's a link to that forum if you have a cool Guru story, and then a link to the upcoming workshops. So we've got a release roundup and office hours with me coming at the end of this month. So on Thursday, the 29th. If you want to learn about what's been released this month, we've had some really exciting new releases already this month. So come learn all about those on Thursday, 5/29, and bring any questions that you may have as well. Stick around for the office hours. And then we're going to have a product roadmap session with our CEO, Rick Nucci, on Wednesday, June 4th at 11 a.m. So if you want to hear about all the exciting stuff that's coming soon with Guru, definitely go ahead and register for that workshop. It's going to be great. Super excited for what's next for Guru. Lots of great stuff, and learning about it now will help you sort of plan ahead, and also get hyped for what's next. And that is it, folks. So I appreciate you all so much for taking your time out of your day to join us. It took us 2 minutes over. Appreciate those of you who lingered around. Thank you all so much, and hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Take care.